disclosure page. And like most of you that know me, you've heard me say many times, trading during market hours, so you'll see the signals. And I'm going to share with you my approach, the approach that I like very much. Steve, I don't know if you're recording it from your end, but I'm going to go ahead and, are you recording it, Steve, from your end? I can't hear you, Steve, so it is recorded? Okay. All right, good. Then we'll go ahead and move on. For those of you that don't know me, I come from the Wall Street side of the business, meaning equities. I started out at Prudential Securities as a portfolio manager of a managed account program called Quantum Funds. They use 3 different types of analysis, fundamental, quantitative, and technical. So that's where my roots, that's the foundation of my career. I've also worked for other big firms such as Citibank and Smith Barney before Citibank bought Smith Barney. And I've been recognized by some large funds. I'm currently a CTA with Advanced Analytics, registered NFA. However, I come to you today not as a CTA or portfolio manager. I come to you as a trader, just like you. Rios Quantitative has developed a lot of the strategies and systems and approaches that I've used over the years. What I would like for you to do, grab a pad and a pen or pencil. I want you to take some notes. These are last-minute thoughts that I think will be helpful to you after our live trading event today. And this is a good time. It's a little past 9. At 9:30, the market will open, and hopefully, volatility will come back into the markets. So we'll take the next 10 minutes or so to talk about a few things. One of the things that helped me out, Steve, can you go ahead and can you help me out where I can show my screen? All right, everybody sees my screen, right? Okay. What the big firms do that the individual trader typically does not is that the big firms use multiple types of analysis to help them in their trading. The quant departments don't work independently. What I mean by that is they just don't use signal models and arbitrage situations and so forth. They actually are either have it in-house or they're interconnected to other types of research that helps them in their either development of their black boxes or their strategies, or it's a dynamic part of it. One of the mistakes that individual traders, a lot of individual traders do, is that they go out looking for a hot signal box or a system or a strategy, whether it's indicators, whatever it is, but they're only looking at the market from one view. Okay, that's like us going to the movies and watching the big screen. But for those of you that have gone to 3D movies, wow, everything comes alive and you're able to have a completely different experience. And that is very similar when it comes to looking at other parts of the market besides just the signal. Oh, wow, everything's lined up. Here's the trade setup. I'm going in. Some people can survive. Most people cannot survive with that type of approach. They come through drawdowns, they get discouraged, and they stop trading. Then they see the strategy. A couple weeks later, it's back on fire. They decide to wait a little while to make sure that it's starting to make money consistently. They jump back in it, and then boom, it starts through its drawdown again. Happens to everybody. It happens to me. Continues to happen to me. I'm not immune to it. We're all human. So what I want to share with you today is gray box versus black box, and then what I call box trading. In the old days, well, first of all, quants use models to create signals, whether it be selection of what they're going to trade, positions they're going to have, risk management they're going to have. Those in the quant world are called models. But before quants were actually labeled as quants, we used to call that boxes. So we would have a box for fundamental analysis. We would have a box for selection. We would have a box for money management. We would have a box for the signal. So that's why when you go on the website and you go to our research and analysis, it says RQ crossbox. So that's that is combining different algorithms for the purpose of creating either signals, stock selection, risk management, so forth and so forth. So we're going to talk today about box trading and about gray box. Gray box is when the inputs of your strategy are exposed, allowing you to manipulate or modify the settings to adjust it to whatever condition you want it to meet. That might be in regards to your bias towards the market, your risk tolerance, and so forth. A black box is something that you just turn on and you forget about it. Okay? Box trading is when you mix different boxes, or you mix different models, such as fundamental analysis with technical analysis, as an example. That's box trading, and we're going to talk about that. We basically break down our asset classes and our markets into 4 categories: stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities. Stocks, equities, same thing. Bonds, fixed income, same thing. Currencies, FX, same things, same thing. Commodities, well, you've got risk commodities, and then you got independent commodities, but overall they're commodities. Most of you have heard us pound the table for at least 2 or 3 years about risk on and risk off and correlations. Market environment has a lot to do with how you're going to handle stress, how you and it could potentially influence your P&L by a wide margin. A lot of you participate in our trade lab with EP every morning from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. He's been doing this with us for 6-7 years. A lot of people think he's got a magnet behind the monitor because he seems to make some great calls in the trade lab and has been very successful. The trades that he calls out in the trade lab are posted on the website. You can see for the last 12 months ending August, because we do it year to year, he was up a little over 100%. He's a professional. He's been doing it for years. A lot of you have not. Even those that have been doing it for years handle stress and handle emotions and the discipline quite differently. EP is very successful at that. For those of you that seem to be struggling, I urge you to take a free trial and to join us for the next 2 to 3 weeks, trading the markets in a live environment with our approach, the systems approach, not the EP approach. EP uses our indicators. We've got a gray box and a black box that you can sign up for a demo, for a free trial, and join us in trading the markets with this approach. I have used it in my managed account for years. I also trade discretionary with the same indicators EP has. There is advantages and disadvantages to both. What I'd like to do is briefly go to somebody else's website and get their definition. So it'll be unbiased. Let me see if I can find their website. I'm not too sure I can find it. All right, I can't seem to, it's not popping up for some reason. It's somebody else's website, a brokerage firm. But I'll go ahead and share with you the pros and cons of black box trading and gray box. With black box, you're going to miss an important part of the equation, which is the macro part of the market and the fundamental part of the market. You're going to miss out on that. And that's something that frustrates a lot of traders. They see some great signals, they jump in, but the trade doesn't work out. That's because they're only using one side of the market. They're only viewing it from, like I like to call, the flat screen. They're not in the picture, and they're not even 3D. Okay? So there's a lot of things that's on the other side of that flat screen that will definitely influence price action. So our approach is using the macro to your advantage and also current market dynamics. You can use one independently or you can use them combined. For those that are just starting out, you can use very simple approach, which is just box trading with the macro. So what do? Well, what we do at RiosQuant, whether you're a discretionary trader or not, we start out every morning with the overnight news. And here you see what happened overnight. European stocks fell, posting biggest two-day drop, blah, blah, blah. Fixed income or bonds, treasuries rose before Janet Yellen faces confirmation, blah, blah, blah. Commodities, copper, talks about copper. Currencies, talks about Australia. Now, these are newswire clips that are gathered from different media such as Bloomberg, Reuters, Dow Jones, and it's put together in a very short, readable report so you know what was in the news. Okay? Now I want you to write copper down. I want you to write Australian dollar down. Okay? The next thing that you can do, or that we do, we go to our research and analysis and we look at all the markets and also the bird's eye view. The yellow mean that it's as far as our trend analysis, it's considered neutral. The red is bearish and the green is bullish. And you can see that on the financials right now, our trend analysis box tells us that it is neutral. Then we move on to metals. In the metals, gold, silver, copper, bearish. Okay? I like to trade. For my selection of what I'm going to trade, I like to look for support and resistance, even if it may not be crude oil support. Okay? Let's see if I can find one so I can. Here's one. Dollar Swiss, it's at resistance, but it's neutral. I like that. I actually like it because what happens a lot of times and where people or traders kind of miss out on is if they're an intraday trader, like most of us are, day traders, we're going to look at daily charts for clues of what we should be trading, and we love to trade those breakouts. Well, what I'm here to tell you is I love to trade when it's at resistance before the breakout, when it's at support before the breakdown. Because what happens a lot of times is that it will break out and it'll come back to retest. So as it's coming back to retest, you have it on your long list. If it's at resistance and I put it on my markets to look at to trade long and it's at resistance, when it breaks out, it's going to happen intraday. And then it'll be too late. If I don't have it on my list, I'll miss out on it. And I can't tell you how many traders fail at that. Traders can be broken down into three categories, general categories. Momentum traders, trend traders, mean reversion. The most popular, by far, including money managers in the commodities and FX space, are your trend traders. They're the largest group. Mean reversion has gained a lot of popularity as quants started coming into our business, the mathematicians. In the academic world, they teach mean reversion nowadays because it's based on statistics. Mean reversion means that if anything goes a little bit too far from the mean, from the average, it should come back. So in essence, they're counter-trend traders. And then, of course, your momentum traders, the whole trick to momentum is catching it as it's gaining momentum, not once the momentum is in full force. All right, that being said, we put up every morning, approximately by 7 o'clock, a list of long candidates, a list of short candidates, and then we talk about the benchmarks because we're big in market correlations. Okay? Very big on it. And I personally talk a lot about it. Risk on, risk off, follow the money flow. That helps us in what we're going to select to trade. So if we go back to resistance, support, where do we get that? Well, I'm going to show you where we get it. We have an indicator called, let's see if I can find the chart. No, that's not it. Give me a second to find it, and I'll show it to you. And then I'm going to go back to copper, and I'm going to go back to the Australian dollar. Could this be it? Yeah, this is it. Now, several days ago, the Aussie dollar made the short list because it was here at support. This red line is one support. I'm sorry, not red, purple. And this purple line is another support. Market's going to open in 3 minutes, so I'm going to go a little quicker. So in the short list, several days ago, Aussie was on the list because it was at support. Sure enough, intraday, this thing just came down. Then it had a listing of bearish breakdown, and now it's back to support. Copper. Copper yesterday, and possibly the day before, was at support. Look, once it broke support, look at this big move down. Okay? So what happens is that if you're waiting for the breakdown, you've missed a great potential trading opportunity. So today we have in the news as far as commodities and currencies, copper. And copper, according to what was written, copper touched a 2-month low in London after remarks by Federal Reserve official fueled speculation the central bank will slow U.S. economic stimulus earlier than expected. As far as the Aussie, Australia's dollar traded near the lowest level in 8 weeks against the greenback as traders weighed the timing of a reduction in Federal Reserve stimulus. So that's the part of the secret sauce, for lack of a better word, of our approach. Market selection, what we're going to trade. That should increase the odds considerably. Okay? All right, so the system that we're featuring today is the Einstein. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the oldest systems we've had. I've been trading Einstein more than 10 years. Okay? So in today's hot list, well, market's going to open in 1 minute, so we're going to take a pause and see what happens when the market's open. We've got, on the short list, we've got gold, which is right here. We have copper. These are 5-minute charts. This is copper, which already took a winning trade, and it's out of our trade zone. So we wouldn't be trading copper anymore today unless it went back into our trading zone. But copper already had a winning trade. There's the markets. What else is on our list? We've got soy. Soy opens up as well. Soy is a long candidate, but it's in short territory, so we wouldn't take that trade. Everything above this green line to this yellow line is bullish. Everything between this lower green line and the first yellow line is bearish. So you don't want to take longs down here, and you don't want to take shorts up here. Okay, so this black box you would not trade soy on the short side, just like you would not trade gold on the long side because it's on our short list. Okay, so that winning trade does not count. You would not have been in that. This losing trade does not count. You should have not been in that. What else is on our list? Well, let's take a look at the Aussie. I'm going to use the Aussie futures because that's what I'm set up for right now. So Aussie's been in bullish territory, getting close to bearish territory, so we might have a potential trade there. Long dollar CAD is the same as a short CAD futures. It's inverted. Again, you would have not taken that long trade. You're waiting for shorts. You'll probably have some short trades coming up here. In fact, what we can do is go to our order manager and see what is active. So we've got some potential short in the CAD, which in the futures is long dollar CAD. We've got nothing in soy, nothing in gold in our direction, and that's it. That's all we have right now as far as working orders. Okay, now I'm going to share with you the other part of the, by the way, that's the most simple approach that we have in box trading. Okay, just taking trend analysis from our cross box, and you want to trade on the short side Einstein, the ones on the list of the downside, and for longs the list on the upside. Okay? That's approach number one. Very simple. Approach number 2, you do the same, but you're going to bring in the RiosQuant. Now, this is on TradeStation and on, let me make it a little bigger so you can see it. It'll look slightly different in Ninja, but we have it for both. What this tells you is this is giving you velocity, and you definitely, for longs, you definitely want to go for the velocity leaders, okay, the ones that are outperforming everything else. Well, crude, as you can see, is all green, very bullish, and that, by the way, begins during the overnight trading session. From London to now, crude oil is under aggressive accumulation. Well, guess what? That's on our short list for the macro. So that's disqualified right there. Okay? So no longer are you stressed out about, should I take this long signal in crude or this short signal in crude? No, they don't match. Forget about it. Unless you want to take higher risk. Okay? So, but for approach number 2, you have nothing to do with crude. You got nothing to do with the yen. The only one that still qualifies is copper. But copper already had its trade before the trade labs, before the trading room started. Okay? But that would have been a qualifying trade. In the risk assets, that's it. There's nothing more to do. Metals, I believe gold is on our short list. It is bullish, bullish, bearish as far as velocity through the different times of the trading sessions, including London and US. Copper is the only one that qualifies. Silver might be setting up. So let's take a look at silver. Sure enough, silver already had 2 winning trades. Okay, before we started. No, actually at 9 o'clock, it had a winning trade a little after 9 o'clock. Okay, so there you would have made money. That's 2 winning trades in silver. Yeah, this pullback is seen in this green, but from here to here, you had, in silver, you had bearish velocity across the 3 different time sections. Okay? What else is on our list? Crude oil, we talked about. Grains, natural gas. Is natural gas on our list? It's not on our list of long nor shorts, but we're going to take a look at it anyways for fun. Nothing going on there. Okay, you would have had a losing trade if you wouldn't have used this approach. Grains, soy is the only one. And let's take a look at soy. That's on the list. Soy is bullish, bearish, bullish. It does not qualify. Besides, it's on the long list, on the upside. Okay? What's next on the list? Currencies. Well, the pound is on our short list. But look, the overnight trading environment, according to our indicators, tell us that it's under aggressive accumulation. You don't want to short it. Same thing with the yen. Swiss franc might be set up. Let's take a look at the Swiss franc. You would not have taken these long Swiss because it's long dollar Swiss, which in the futures market means a short Swiss. Let's see if that's set up to be traded. If there's a trade signal in the working. Swiss. In the 30 minutes, it's got a buy. Disqualified. So we don't have anything working in the Swiss, but that could change. Swiss could trade right here in bear territory, and boom, you could have a completely different signal pop up. That is the beauty of systems trading. This should be on for shorts only. And there's different ways of doing that depending on which platform you're using. So here I would have this off. No longs. Only shorts. So the beauty of systems trading is that computers react in nanoseconds. We don't. We don't. Okay? Now, for those of you that are discretionary traders using our indicators, you're looking at shorting right now the Swiss franc. Here it is with our indicators, and that just entered into, it should have entered into a short. Do you guys have that? The guys that are running the Crossbox? I'm sorry, the RQ channel? Give me a second, I did something wrong here. No, we don't. That's only a Gnostic trade. There is no trade. But I believe that there is there is one. Give me a second to identify it. We trade on 30-minute charts and 5-minute charts. The left is your 5-minute. Let me set this up properly so you get to see it. And there are no trades right now. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if EPs short that in the trade lab. There it goes. All right, let's see what else is on the list. Aussie's on the list. Aussie is almost bearish all the way across. Let's look at the Aussie. No signal in the Aussie yet. Canadian. Let's see if the Canadian gave a signal. No signal in the Canadian yet. Chris is asking, Joe, will the recording be sent out? Probably, Chris. Upon request, for sure. So you got to request it. All right, now let's take a pause. And for those of you that are discretionary traders, here's one of the big differences. I'm relaxed. We can kick back. I just spent 20, 30 minutes explaining to you the approach, how the approach works. And the system was trading while I was talking. I didn't have to, the only decision I had to make is, what do I turn on? What do I turn off? Which markets? That's it. And which side of the market am I gonna have on or off? This allows me to spend more time market environment. This is our DMS, our Dynamic Market Sentiment Indicator, which on Ninja, it's a column here on your Architect, and it'll give you, here in TradeStation, it's a histogram. We have been risk off most of the morning. Also, understanding the correlations will help you on what you're going to select to trade. When correlations go to 1, that is an expression which means 100% correlation. That means that asset classes are moving in a certain direction, and there's a certain rhyme to it. When markets are in conflict or when they're in conflict, it's like herding cats. It's very hard to do. The different major asset classes or markets that I spoke about, stocks, the stock market, the bond market, currency market, and commodity markets, they see their views are not lined up together. They have different views. That's when it's a lot more difficult to trade. So by being a systems trader, in other words, using auto execution for your entries and exits, allows you more time to pay attention to these correlations. Where did my correlations go? I just lost it. That's strange. Let me see if I can find it here. No, that's just the histogram. There we go. So when the markets are in conflict, means these major asset classes, and by the way, I call the benchmarks, the most important benchmarks as being the equities and the bonds, the fixed income. But U.S. dollar is also very, very important. So since I have my systems on, I can concentrate and focus on market environment. We are about to go into a mixed environment, which means trading is going to be a little bit more difficult. However, if we can go into a risk-on environment, then I can look to trade some of the risk assets to the long side if I want to take a little bit more risk, even if it's not on our list. That's the third approach. The third approach is using systems trading with market selection using velocity. And you're disregarding trend analysis. Your odds are less. That's going to depend on a few things. It's going to depend on the style of your trading and where you are in your trading as far as confidence and trusting your your outlook on the markets. But by far, we believe, or I personally believe, you have more odds stacked in your favor when you're following, and write this down, the macro, or under the macro, trend analysis. Second is the overnight price action, which is what's happening now. When those two match up and our markets are ready to be traded, 7, 8 o'clock, that's when you have the highest probability that a momentum style strategy such as the Einstein will work. That's your highest probability that it'll work at its best. That's when it should work at its best. And as you can see, we have only had one trade all morning. But that's allowed me, again, the time to say, there's a shift, potential shift. Markets are either going to get mixed, well, they're already mixed. There's the yellow bar. That yellow bar says markets are mixed. That means caution. The markets are fighting it out. The bulls and the bears are fighting it out. This top chart is your S&P. The yellow dot is yesterday's low, the white dot rather. And this is the 10-year notes. They've stalled. Well, 10-year notes have stalled, and the S&P has bounced. Is it a reversal? No, not yet. Should the markets reverse and we have a risk on, the first thing we're going to look at is the leader in our overnight trading action that belongs to the risk assets. And that would be crude oil. Then I would have to make a decision. How much risk do I want to take? Do I want to be risky? Then I would turn crude oil on. I don't want to be risky. I leave it off. Eric, you want a copy of this recording? Send an email to support@RiosQuant. Jerry wants to know, repeat myself, why no trade on crude when it's all green? Jerry, I'd be delighted to. As you, let me first take the crude oil, according to our trend analysis, is at support, and it's got a bearish ranking. If you look at a daily chart, you can see it's been in a downward trend, and we've been all through here. We had it at support, take shorts. Same thing as here. It is at support. Okay, so the larger position trading types have been shorting it. That's the trend. The trend's been down. However, as you can see from that right there, that today's candle, in the overnight trading action, crude oil has been under accumulation. That's why it's green. This is velocity. This column here is movement during London. Movement pre-open and movement are open. So it's been bullish. Okay? That means that for the time being, the long positions, some long positions, have stopped shorting or have bought back some. But crude now is back in bear territory. So as soon as these become red, I'd be ready to short it. So I come in here, double check all my stuff, my settings. It's on. I got the right settings. Channel 2, 200 profit, 300 stop loss. It'll stop trading at 11. Crude, I take it further, by the way. So that I'm going to take a little further out. I like trading it later on. Prefer trading it later on. And that's it. It takes short. Shorts are on. I got nothing else to do regarding crude oil. Any questions so far? The other one we got to keep an eye on. Let's see, silver. Silver already gave us 2 winning trades, and it might give us another one. So far this morning we have 3 winning trades, 1 in copper, 2 in silver. Let's take a look at our setups. What is setting up? No, there's not. Well, let me make sure silver, I got silver lined up for my alarm. Yep, generate order display, it's on. So there's no working orders. There's no working orders right now in silver. What else might be lining up? We talked about Swiss franc, right? You wouldn't have taken those trades, and there's no trades yet in soy. I'm sorry, in Swiss franc. Aussie was the other one. And nothing yet. Nope. We've got a gold sell short at 93.26 in gold. No, in crude oil. Write it down. Short 93.26. Sell short in crude oil. Gold was canceled. So there's only one active working order. What else looked like it was close? That's gold right there, but that's still in bullish territory. Oh, Pierre says natural gas. Okay. Now, natural gas has a neutral rating. It's not on our upside list or downside list. So if we're looking at natural gas trading without the trend, it hasn't had a signal. Let's see if there is one. No, nothing in natural gas. What do I have here? Crude? Any questions? Steve, are you still in the room? Do you all hear Steve? Because I don't hear Steve. I didn't hear Steve from this morning. Oh, now I do.
Joe, I had audio issues on my side. I'm good now. I'm very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So I'm with you. Well, I'm going to be, at this point, I'll be fielding questions, and every so often I'll give you a cue, and I'll break in. Okay?
Yeah, I know we said we were going to be on till 10, but, we can stay on longer. I thought the markets would have been a little bit more exciting this morning than they have been.
Okay, well,
They just haven't.
let me encourage the individuals that are brand new to us to ask questions. Please participate. We're not going to learn anything about you, and certainly without any questions from you, you're not going to learn anything about us and what this is truly about. So don't be shy. Don't be timid. We're here to help you get to know us, and let me just encourage it. So, Joe, I just came back to the room. I was working on the audio. Why don't you review where we are at this point?
Where we are as far
Yeah, I mean,
as?
any trades that were
I already
created?
done that.
Oh, you did? Okay, very good.
Yeah. Let's see if there's a pending trade or a working order in gold, because it is coming down. No, I don't see any yet. But yeah, it could get activated relatively quick. Ryan, were you able to make it into the room, Ryan? Where's Ryan? Hey, Ryan, can I bring you on? I know it's a surprise. All right, folks, this is Ryan. He's one of our members, has been a member for a while, and he's been fantastic with me and helping me. We do a session called the IQ Room a couple times a week, and we do a lot of advanced concepts, and Ryan is one of a few that has been very helpful. And Ryan has been, our theme in the IQ Room for the last month or so has been systems trading and back testing, forward and out of samples, and black box versus gray box. And Ryan has been working on some of these tests, including the out of sample trades. Right, Ryan? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Well, I'm exactly what Joe said. I'm a student, and I'm learning as much as I can. And it's been probably one of the best instructional adventures I've ever taken. It's Joe and Steve and EP. They're there for you to help you, and they want to help you, and there's nothing behind it except for that. They just want to make you successful. So it's fun.
So Ryan, let me ask you a couple of questions. I know you've been doing the Trading Einstein 5 minutes and 30 minutes at least for the last week and a half or so, only taking trades in the same direction and only the things on the hot list. How has it been going, and what observations have you made, good and bad?
Well, it's real important to have the market analyzed like what you were talking about this morning, because I did some back testing on 6-month back testing on all the markets that we trade, and I think I sent that to you last week. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it.
Not yet.
And what it showed is that if you just use the black box and I picked between 8 and 11, and I did 200, 300, and I just did it on all the accounts for 6 months going back, and it's about a break even. And so what that does is that gives me confidence that I'm going to be around break even. I'm not going to lose my butt if I just turn it on. But second, then if you add in your market preferences or biases, then it pushes you up into the positive side. And we started a week ago doing just a hot list from 8 to 11, and the 2 and 300, and we were up $2,500 in, what was it, 5 or 6 days?
Yeah, one contract, right?
Just one contract, and I haven't compiled this week's trades yet. I need to do that and get it to you.
Okay.
So it makes a big difference, your market bias and how you're reading it.
Right, and that's how I started our trading room this morning, by mentioning to you where a lot of traders fail. They go out, they get a hot system or a strategy, they start trading it, and they're only looking at a flat screen. They're not looking at other market dynamics that will have a direct impact on the performance of that system, regardless of the system. Steve, could you mute yourself because you're typing away and it's... Okay, there we go. And that's exactly what Ryan has just said. A black box can be good, can be bad. It depends. If you catch the markets during the right environment for that specific strategy. But markets do not always behave the same going forward as they have in the past. So other analysis is key. And we've tried to make it as simple as possible. Years ago, I used to teach it, and as technology got better and better, we started coding more and more and more. And now it's very easy. You don't have to be a market expert, but you do need training. You got to know what to turn on, what to turn off, which markets. But it's all done for you. The analysis is done for you. All you do is go to the site. And by the way, if for those that are checking us out who haven't done this before, go to RiosQuant.com, RiosQuant.com, and then there's a free trial button for this. We call it the Crossbox, and it's trend analysis for all the major markets, such as the S&P, NASDAQ, 10-year notes, the metals, energy, some grains, and the major currency pairs and the FX. Okay? Then you've got the upside, you got the downside, you got the benchmarks. That's it. You grab these markets, you put it on your Ninja or on your trade station, you turn on the Einstein, the automated system, to those markets in the same direction, you're good to go. That's that's one plan, one trading plan. If you want to get more involved, then your second trading plan, you also include velocity. The velocity indicators found in our Arcutech, which is our technology. Okay, you can see now crude has just turned bearish in the short term. Copper remains under pressure. Silver remains under pressure. Let's see if we had a trade in silver. Didn't have a trade in silver, even though it broke down. Now, I'll tell you, which I was going to talk about a little while ago, and then I got, the markets. We started looking at the markets. Pros and cons. One of the most difficult things for traders is dealing with emotions. And the advantage of following a system, especially box trading like I'm talking about, is that you don't second guess yourself. You're not the pilot in a battle having to make split-second decisions. You're the navigator. You're navigating through the markets. It's very, very different. And I'll give you a perfect example today in my own trading. And I promise you, it's the only trade I've done in this, and I did not do this on purpose. It just happens to have worked out pretty good for this example that I'm giving you. And how many traders in the room today are struggling with decision making, with second guessing yourself when you get into a trade? Pierre, I've heard you a year ago at one of our workshops that you exit trades too soon, too early. Are you still struggling with that? I do. Not 12 months out of the year, but for the last couple months, I've been second guessing when I get into positions. I've been very, very tight with my stops. And let's see what happened today. So when you find yourself in situations like that, like I am right now, I'm too risk adverse, so I'm tightening my stops. I'm moving them to break even too soon. That's when you got to turn on systems. Give me a second to find it. Could have been this one. Yeah. Hold on, that's not it right there. I wish that would have been it. That's not it. Earlier on, and this is, discretionary trading with some other indicators we have. I did not have a signal on this as far as black box. But here you go. I took this early trade in the Dow Jones. Right here, it had a nice RQ channel break, which we talk about in our discretionary trading room with our indicators. When this thing just went sideways, 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 I moved it to break even plus commission. Because I said, that's it. I'm tired of waiting and waiting. I'm trading momentum. If this didn't do it by now, it's not going to do it. And look, that's where I got out. I got in there. I got in at 156.48. And I got out at 15,647 for one tick, just enough to cover commission. And look what happened. Boom! It moved. Now, Einstein took this trade a lot earlier, and that's where it got out. I don't think it had any other, but this wasn't on the hot list for shorts. Okay? So this was a discretionary trade from my side, but there's the problem. I got out too early. With systems trading, you don't have that problem. And I can just about tell you that right now, if I would have been trading copper, because it is on the list, this pullback, I would have been very nervous. And you know what would have happened? You know what would have happened if I would have been in this trade, discretionary? My eyes would have been focused on this chart, and I would have forgotten for the next, let's see, this is 5-minute chart, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about an hour. For the next hour, I'm glued, my eyes are glued to this chart, biting my nails, thinking this thing's going to stop me out because the stop loss is right up here. And then you're second guessing yourself. And you would have forgotten about everything else that's going on as a discretionary trader. As a systems trader, you're looking at the market. You're not even looking at this chart. You can care less. You're looking for the next trade. You're looking to see if the markets have follow through, if they're as far as the asset classes, such as a little while ago when I said the markets went mixed, we might have a change, a reversal. It hadn't happened yet. And look, it failed. That's what I would have been concentrating on. Because should have this continued, then my game plan, I might be trading plan B. One of our members just pointed out to me that natural gas just took a winning trade. There's natural gas, but natural gas was not on our short list. It wasn't on the list, period. So if you wanted to take a little bit more risk, you would have identified a natural gas trade, because on the independents, it was all bearish across the board. A little bit higher risk than just trading off of the hot list. But nonetheless, it is a qualified trade. Pierre says he took $250 on natural gas. Pierre, did you do it trading Einstein, or did you do it as a Gnostic trade? Gnostic and RQ channel. And by the way, looks like it might have follow-through, Pierre. We have an indicator called RQ channel, and the Einstein is based on part of it is Gnostic, part of it is RQ channel. And then it has a third element, and it's automated. All right, let's see. We might have some other trade setups. Potentially gold. Let's go take a look at gold and see if there's something going on there.
Hello, Joe. As you are looking for the gold, you do hear me, yes?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me find my list here, see what's going on gold.
Yeah, as you're doing it, in the next 15 minutes, we've got the oil report, just to remind you. I know that you know that, but just to remind you.
All right. Let me go over here. That's another way to trade Einstein if you want to trade reports, but I'll look at that in a minute. Let's see if we have a potential trade. Not just on the 60 minutes. We don't have a 5-minute gold trade. They've all been canceled.
I've just been corrected. Oil will be tomorrow because of the holiday Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Pierre, what do you mean? Pierre's on a roll. He says Swiss franc. Let's go back and take a look at Swissy. Yeah, no Einstein trade. But what was it, Pierre? Was that an RQ channel trade? Pierre, what do you mean you're happy as it is? Yeah, Pierre says that's an RQ channel 7 trade. On 5 minutes or 30 minutes, Pierre? Let me make sure this is on. $30 minutes. Okay, Pierre's trading this on 30 minutes. So he got in right here, which is a Gnostic and an RQ channel trade. I'm surprised Einstein didn't pick up on it. There's an Einstein trade short a few days ago. So it is on. All right, any questions? Way to go, Pierre. Pierre had 5 contracts and took $500 out of Swiss franc. Way to go, Pierre. I miss you too, Pierre. You got to come back into the IQ room. We're doing a lot of interesting stuff in there. All right. Any questions? Pierre says in a straight way. I know what you mean, Pierre. Any questions? Richard, how you doing? Have you been trading Einstein? Tal, good to see you in here. I've been reading the email exchanges with the spreadsheets between you and Jane. Jane out of Australia. I don't know if she's in the room today, but I will be applying it, and so I'll give you some follow-up with it. Eric, you have any questions, Eric? You've seen a lot of EP trading, but you hadn't seen systems trading, had you? In a live environment? Yeah, Eric. Oh, look at what is this over here? The Aussie. Let me make sure we got the Aussie turned on. That's on our list. Yeah, Aussie's turned on. Didn't take a trade. Surprised it didn't take that trade. Let me make sure there are other trades. Yeah, just saw another trade. This was, on what day was this? Oh, this was yesterday. Yesterday's when I flew back into town. This was yesterday. Let me double check. Yeah, yesterday was the 12th. This was on our short list yesterday. But no signal today. Too bad. Looks like it wants to come down. Let's see what else we have that might be moving. Now the black box, I'll talk to you a little bit about black box. Black boxes can work too, but you need to know how to evaluate them and how to use them. If you're trading a momentum system, like that's the type of trading I like to do, then you got to trade volatile markets, like crude oil, like gold. Like the Aussie. Let me see if I have here available what a black box on gold looks like, and that's not it. Give me a second to search for it. In fact, Eric, he's from Apple International, and he actually trades Einstein Black Box on customers' behalf. So for those of you that don't have time to be in front of a computer, there are a couple black boxes available, and Eric will trade it on your behalf. And this is the performance of one of them for the last few months. So if you would have started a few months ago, you'd be up, I think, about $1,500 in 2 months. Is that right? Does that sound about right, Eric? And then we have other systems. We also have FX systems. Let me see if I can locate. Where is our Aussie system? I must have X'd out of it by mistake. No, I don't see the Aussie. Oh well, don't know what happened to that chart. Must be on a different workspace. Let me see if I can find it so at least you get to see our... Oh, I know what it was. I had the wrong... Just looking at the wrong one. My apologies. Let me get back to it. Give me a chance to turn it on. See if this is it. No trades. Let's see what happened here. Oh, it's FX. I got a futures contract in there. Let me put it back on. Yeah, there's the Aussie system. Nice little equity curve. The Aussie system will be available soon as a black box. But gold has done real well in both 30-minute and 60-minute as black boxes. All right, folks, what questions do you have? It looks like we're going into a interesting risk. Risk is trying to go bullish, which means we're going to be in conflict any minute now. There's a couple questions coming across. Jim, I don't know. Jim is asking, what's the long versus short ratio with gray box for gold and Aussie? I'll have to check. Richard is asking, how much are the black box systems? If you have Eric trade it for you, it's I I don't even know the pricing. What is it, Eric? $125 a month plus commissions. Or you can buy the system, then you just pay commissions. Yeah, per unit, $125 per unit. And that's somebody else trading it for you. Commission is $10 round turn, all inclusive. All in, $10 round turn, $5 per side. How much to just own the software? Send an email to Steve at RiosQuant.com, and he'll get you the price list. I'm not 100% sure. I think Einstein alone, just the system by itself, is $1,500, and then depending if you other things that come with it, such as the architect, they're add-ons, but reach out to him and he'll give you a breakdown of what they are. We also do in-house workshops, you know, at our live trading room 4 times a year. There's a lot of different things that we offer.
Joe, why don't I think we're almost we're actually half past the top of the hour, so why don't I show people how to get started with the trial, unless there are other trades you see as setups.
Okay. Wait, there's a couple more questions. Are the results on your website? Richard, we have results on the website of the Trade Lab. Trade Lab is our something we've been doing for years and years, where we trade a live trading room, but it's not dedicated to systems. It's our indicators, but it's ours. It's indicators. In fact, our systems are based on some of those indicators, and those results are on the website under Trade Lab. It's what he all the trades he calls, you know, every day. And from looking at the list of attendees here, majority are our members, which, you know, they're pretty, I think, happy, because I've heard great things about it, about the Trade Lab. But trading, you know, trading with systems is you can't if you're a discretionary trader, you can add it as your arsenal. Like I said, I do both myself. There are times to be more dependent on the system, and there are times to be more discretionary. You can be one or the other, but you'll definitely, I think, enjoy trading a little bit more when you'll have the ability to turn a system on and let it do its work on those days or those time periods where you're second guessing yourself, and your results may not be as you would like. We do have performance somewhere. Let me check on the gold system. Give me a second. It's somewhere. Here it is, Richard. So this is as of September 6th. This is gold black box. Now, what's the intraday requirement for gold? What's the margin? It's very little, right? But this is based on $30,000. Okay, so this is based on a $30,000 account. So these numbers will change if you're trading it with a 10 or a 15. Okay. So this is approximately, you know, a little bit more than 3 times the margin requirement. So it's up $1,300. It's on a little drawdown now, which is actually good. I hate when things just go up and up and up. And let me show you all the trades. So in September, it was up $44. It got started on the 6th. October was good. It made $2,400. And this month it's down $1,000. And you can see the average losing trade is 380. The average winning trade is a little over $200, even though we've had a little bit more on some of them. And again, this here is based on $20 round turn, not 10. And those are the numbers. That's real trading. So there's been 23 trades out of 23 16 winning trades. And it's net up 1381, $1,300. So I hope that was helpful. Now we have copper systems as well. They're more aggressive, that are doing better. They're not in a drawdown for this month. And we also have the same gold system on a shorter time frame that trades a lot more, that's also outperforming that system. Eric says that it's $10 a side. What did it say on the website? $20, and that would be correct. So my apologies. It's $20. It's $10 a side, not round turn. So whatever numbers was on that sheet was correct. All right. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Steve. I don't see any Steve trade. Before I do, I'll check. Let me see if there's anything out there. Oh, now we've got gold. And we've got Swiss franc. So gold and Swiss franc are out there. Gold as a long, so we know we're not interested in that. But the Swiss franc, there's a short coming up in the Swiss franc. So as you can see, it's 10:30. There's been very, very little stress for my end, as you see me trading systems. The results for today is, what was it? 1 winning trade in copper, 2 winning trades in silver, and that's it. There weren't any more trades. That's a slow period. Ryan, do you know how many trades you were averaging for last week? I know it was a lot more active than today. Today, yeah. Oh, this is something else that Ryan brought to my attention. On the days that the markets are tough to trade, he just, you just don't see that many Einstein trades when you follow these rules. Let me see if I can bring Ryan back up. No, I don't see Ryan. I don't think he's mic'd up right now. But that's an observation that he said, Joe, when the market, and those are usually winning days. Those are your good days. But when the markets are tough, you just don't see that many trades. And if you do, you'll see, some losses, but very, very limited. Definitely the best trades, the best trading days for this system is during volatility. You need volatility. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Steve. I don't see any other trade setups. I'll go ahead and leave my screen on, and I'll holler at Steve.
I'm here now, Joe.
Jim says watch for crude. But at any rate, I'll go ahead and Steve, go ahead and take over. And
I'm good. Can you hear me okay, Joe?
yeah, I do. Let me just put crude oil on here.
Okay, good.
Looks like crude did take a trade.
Yeah, it did take the short. Okay.
Crude is short.
Yeah, I had the copper on. I had copper on my NinjaTrader platform, just to let you guys know. I know that Joe has been showing the TradeStation radar screen, the TradeStation application that he trades on. I trade on NinjaTrader, so just know, folks that are new in the room, non-members, we use both the TradeStation and Ninja platforms.
Here's a correction for those that follow the second trading plan I mentioned. You wouldn't have been in that trade because you don't have red all the way across on crude. To qualify crude for a short trade, it's got to be in the all red across for a short. So but plan A, you would have a short there. All right, Steve, I'll turn it over to you. And
sounds great. I can take it. I can actually take it from you. All right, I'll make myself the presenter. We'll see my screen in just one moment. I think everybody should see the screen. For those of you that are non-members or members that haven't used Einstein yet or any of our auto trading systems, in the next 2 weeks, we want you to gain some knowledge learning the approaches to systems trading. We think it's important. As you can see, it does reduce the stress. While I was working on other things, I pretty much captured the copper trade, but we want you to test and experience it for yourself in real time. We'll give you different workshops, coaching, but we want you to evaluate and discover the systems that is going to be right for you. You're going to be the judge. The one thing that we won't do is pressure you into anything. Either this is going to sell itself or it's not. But it takes very few simple steps to get the trial underway. There's installation. We have tech support that is second to none. That's going to walk you through the installation and the process. It probably takes anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes max. Training. We offer one-on-one training with our trade coach Ken Erickson and or myself to ensure that you learn all the strategies. I know that you heard different scenarios that were mentioned this morning by Joe. Scenario A, Scenario B, do you use it based upon the hot list? Do you use it? Don't you use it? If you want to use it, if the instrument doesn't appear on the hot list, when do you use it? These are all things that you will get training during the trial, all for the purpose and intent of having you make that educated decision. And then we're going to have a trading room once or twice a week where there's group meetings, as we have here with coaches and or members, to ensure that you get the most out of the trial. So here it is. This is your 2-week trial. There's your link. And what I can do is I can, upon request, all you have to do is email me, or actually support at RiosQuant, and we will make sure that you will have the indicators in your hands ASAP. Now, you're going to have the email address put into the chat box right now. This is one way, a very simple way to get the trial going if you have NinjaTrader. If you have NinjaTrader, just simply copy and paste your machine ID number found in your control center to us. Once you do that, it will alert us to send the indicators straight away. If you have TradeStation and you want the trial, very simple. Give us or send to us your customer ID number. Not your account number, but your customer ID number. Of course, we'll have your name and email address. All you have to do is say, yeah, I'd like to try it. I've got TradeStation. Here's my customer ID number. We will send you the indicators. So it's going to be a rather simple process in getting the trial going, and it is well worth it. If there's any investment whatsoever that there is, first of all, it's time. So you want to take the time and try it. What you will receive in the trial is the dynamic market sentiment indicator, the next stream velocity indicator, of course, RQ Einstein auto trading system, coaching, once again I mentioned, which is live one-on-one coaching. We'll give you one-on-one attention. And of course, there's going to be live trading workshops that you get a chance to experience throughout the trial. So if you want to contact any one of the 3 individuals that are down at the bottom, myself, Amber Little, Ken Erickson, please feel free to do it. Email address, just start with support@RiosQuant, and one of the 3 of us will be in touch with you. Are there any final questions concerning anything that you've heard seen today? I know that Joe may be, I think Joe is still here, so if there are any other questions, if I can't answer them, I'm sure Joe will be glad to. And if not, we're going to call it a morning, and I wish you the rest of the day, and may the best trades be yours for the day. Any last questions? Don't be shy. If there are any, you've got your chance now. If not, we'll send you another invitation to one of our other workshops, but please feel free to make that inquiry. You can find that in the website as well. So with that, Nick asks a question. Nick, are you referring to the trading with Eric at Apple International? It's a very simple thing. We can tell you more about it. I prefer you send me an email because we're just about ready to wrap it up. But what it is a letter of direction that you're sending to Apple International. Eric runs the black box system for you, which is at this moment the gold trading system. And Joe, if you'd like to elaborate, it's be my pleasure to have you come back aboard.
I don't know if the mic is still on or not. No, there's really nothing more to add. But Nick, you know, I'll have. I don't have your contact info, but if you send us your contact info, I'll have Eric reach out to you and show you and talk to you about the gold system. Again, gold. There's 2 or 3 different systems for gold. Some are more active than others. And that about wraps it up, Steve. I have nothing further to add.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Let me just wish everybody a great day, and hope you have a great trading rest of the day. Take care, guys. I'll be closing the room now. Have a great one.
Bye now.
Take care, guys.